Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving into a real classic in the personal finance world.
Yeah.
Your Money or Your Life by Vicki and Joe Dominguez. Now, you might be thinking, oh, another finance book.
Right.
But trust me on this one. This one goes way beyond your typical budgeting advice.
Absolutely. This book isn't just about dollars and cents. It's
Right.
about understanding the connection between your money and your life energy.
Yeah.
The precious hours you spend to earn each dollar.
Exactly. Did you know one of the authors, Joe Dominguez,
Yeah.
was a Wall Street analyst who actually retired at 31
Wow.
and never worked for money again? His story is woven throughout the book and really makes you question how we value our time and energy.
It really does. One of the most impactful ideas in the book is this concept of viewing money as a direct representation of your life energy. Each purchase you make isn't just a transaction, it's a trade-off.
Right.
You're essentially exchanging hours of your life for that item or experience.
Whoa, that's a powerful way to reframe our spending habits. It really does make you stop and think, is this purchase really worth the hours I worked to earn this money?
It really is. And the book lays out this 9-step program to help you transform your relationship with money and achieve financial independence.
So the first step might seem a bit unexpected. For a finance book,
Yeah.
It's all about making peace with your financial past.
Making peace with the past.
Yeah, that sounds pretty deep. What does that actually involve?
It's about taking a clear-eyed look at your financial history without judgment.
Okay.
So you start by calculating your total lifetime earnings, which can be a surprisingly large number for many people.
Oh, wow.
And then you figure out your net worth. That's your assets like savings and possessions, minus your liabilities like debts.
So it's like taking inventory of your financial life up to this point.
Yes.
Can't really chart a course for the future if you don't know where you're starting from, right?
Precisely. It's about establishing that baseline so you can track your progress as you move through these 9 steps. Once you've made peace with your past, the book encourages you to become more present and mindful of how you're spending your life energy in the here and now.
Okay, so that's step 2. Being in the present, tracking your life energy, right?
That's right.
This is where things start to get really interesting. What are some concrete steps that people can take to track their life energy?
Well, first, the book has you calculate your real hourly wage, and this isn't just your salary divided by the number of hours you work. It factors in all those hidden costs associated with your job.
Okay, so like, what kind of hidden costs are we talking about?
Think about your commute, the gas tolls, or public transportation fares.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the cost of work clothes, dry cleaning, and maybe even those after-work drinks you need to de-stress.
Wow, I never really factored those things in before. Suddenly that hourly wage doesn't look quite as impressive.
Right. And once you have your real hourly wage, you can start to see the true cost of your spending in terms of life energy.
Okay.
The book also emphasizes keeping a detailed daily money log, where you track every cent you spend.
So it's about developing a heightened awareness of your spending habits. Not necessarily judging yourself, but just becoming more conscious of where your money is going.
Exactly. And this awareness is crucial for the next step, which is monthly tabulation.
Okay, a lot of people might hear monthly tabulation and think budgeting.
Right.
But the book is pretty clear that this isn't about creating a restrictive budget. Can you explain the difference?
You're absolutely right. This isn't about setting strict limits on each spending category. It's more about categorizing your expenses to see where your money is actually going.
Okay.
So instead of saying, I can only spend X dollars on groceries this month, you're simply tracking your grocery spending to see how much you're actually spending.
It's like getting a financial snapshot of your unique spending patterns.
Yes, and then you take that data a step further. Remember that real hourly wage you calculated? You translate each dollar amount into the number of hours of life energy it represents. So if you spend $50 on takeout and your real hourly wage is $10, you're essentially looking at 5 hours of your life. That went towards those meals.
That's a powerful visualization. It really brings the concept of money is life energy to life.
It does.
But just tracking your expenses doesn't necessarily lead to change, does it? How does the book help people move from awareness to action?
That's where the 4th step comes in. This step is all about asking yourself 3 transformative questions for each spending category.
Okay. All right, let's hear these transformative questions. What are they?
The first question is, did this expense bring me fulfillment, satisfaction, and value in proportion to the life energy I spent? So you're evaluating if the trade-off was worth it. The second question asks, is this expenditure in alignment with my values and life purpose? Does how you're spending your money reflect what truly matters to you?
Those are some thought-provoking questions.
They are. And then the third question is the real kicker. How might the spending change if I didn't have to work for a living?
Whoa, that's a game changer. It really makes you think about what you would prioritize if you weren't tied to a job, just to make ends meet.
Right.
Suddenly that daily latte might not seem so essential.
That's the point. It helps you start to align your spending with your ideal vision of your life.
Okay, so after asking those questions, you might feel overwhelmed by all the data and insights you've gathered. That's where the fifth step comes in, visualizing it all with a wall chart.
A wall chart.
Yeah. What exactly is that, and how does it help?
Think of it like a giant visual representation of your financial journey. You can use a spreadsheet or even a big piece of graph paper. The idea is to plot your total monthly income and expenses over time.
Okay.
And as you become more conscious of your spending and start implementing changes, you'll see those trend lines shift.
So it's a way to track your progress and stay motivated as you move toward financial independence. Okay, I can see how that visual representation could be really powerful. And speaking of taking action, step 6 is all about minimizing spending and valuing your life energy, right?
Exactly. Now, it's important to note that the book's emphasis on frugality isn't about deprivation. It's about being mindful of your purchases and making sure they align with your values and bring you genuine satisfaction.
It reminds me of that saying, want what you have.
Yes.
It's easy to get caught up in the cycle of wanting more and more, but this step encourages us to appreciate and make the most of what we already own.
That's a great way to put it. The book has some great tips for putting this into practice. For example, instead of rushing out to buy something new, try the 30-day rule. Wait 30 days before making a non-essential purchase. You might find that the urge passes. Or you come up with a creative alternative solution using what you already have.
I love that. It's like hitting the pause button on impulse purchases and giving ourselves time to really evaluate if that purchase aligns with our values and our vision for our lives.
Exactly. It's about moving away from a consumer mindset and embracing a more conscious and intentional approach to spending.
This has been incredibly insightful so far. We've covered the first 6 steps of your money or your life, and I already feel like I have a whole new perspective on my finances.
That's great to hear.
But minimizing spending can only take you so far, right?
Right.
We still need to address the income side of the equation.
You're absolutely right. And that brings us to step 7, which is all about maximizing your income.
Now, I'm guessing this isn't your typical advice about climbing the corporate ladder or hustling for a promotion. What does maximizing income really mean in the context of this book?
You're on the right track. It's not just about earning more money. It's about aligning your work with your life purpose.
Okay.
The book asks a very poignant question. Are you making a living or making it dying?
Whoa, that's a powerful question. It really makes you stop and think about whether your work is energizing you or draining you.
It does. It's a call to find work that you find meaningful and fulfilling, even if it means making a change or pursuing a completely different path.
This is where the book starts to really challenge our conventional notions of work and career.
It does.
But of course, most of us can't just quit our jobs tomorrow and pursue our passions without a plan. How does the book bridge that gap between the reality of bills and the dream of fulfilling work?
That's where the concept of financial independence comes in. And that's where we'll pick up in the next part of our deep dive.
This is getting really exciting. I can't wait to explore those next steps and see how it all comes together.
Me too. We'll be back soon to explore the final steps towards achieving financial independence and living a life aligned with your values.
Expert. Welcome back to our deep dive into your money or your life. We left off talking about aligning your work with your life purpose. But the big question is, how do you actually achieve that financial freedom to make those bold choices?
That's where the final steps of the program really come into play. It's about creating a life where work becomes optional, not an obligation.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more about how the book guides you towards that financial independence.
Well, as you diligently track your expenses and make conscious spending choices, you start to see this gap emerge between your income and expenses. That gap represents your savings, but your money or your life calls it capital.
Capital. So it's more than just money sitting in a savings account.
Exact. Think of it as money that's actively working for you. It's the seed money that you invest to generate more money, ultimately creating a source of passive income. That can cover your expenses.
Okay, that's where the concept of the crossover point comes in, right? That magical moment when your investment income
Yes.
can cover all your living expenses.
Precisely. It's the point where you no longer need to work for money because your money is working for you.
That sounds amazing. But how do you actually calculate that crossover point? Is it just a guessing game? Or is there a more concrete way to figure out when you might reach that milestone?
The book provides a really helpful formula for calculating your potential monthly investment income.
Yep.
You take your accumulated capital, multiply it by the long-term interest rate you expect to earn, and then divide that by 12 months.
So, for example, if someone had $500,000 invested
Yeah.
and expected a 5% annual return, their potential monthly investment income would be over $2,000.
You got it. And then you compare that potential income to your monthly expenses. And the closer those two numbers get, the closer you are to reaching that crossover point.
That's a really clear and practical way to track your progress towards financial independence.
It is.
But once you have that capital, how do you actually manage it and make sure it's working for you in the best way possible?
That's where step 9 comes in, managing your finances. It's about becoming a savvy investor who understands the principles of safe and reliable investing.
When people hear investing, they often think of like complicated stock markets or risky schemes. Does the book dive into all that?
Actually, your money or your life emphasizes simplicity and minimizing fees. It encourages a more conservative approach, focusing on long-term growth and minimizing risk.
So it's more about taking control of your finances and making informed decisions rather than blindly following the latest investment trends or relying on financial advisors who might not have your best interests at heart.
Exactly. The book encourages readers to educate themselves about different investment options, like index funds or real estate, and to choose strategies that align with their risk tolerance and long-term goals.
It sounds like it's empowering people to become active participants in their financial well-being, rather than feeling like they're at the mercy of the markets or financial experts.
That's a great way to put it. It's about taking ownership of your financial future. And to help with that, the book introduces the 3 pillars of financial management.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about these 3 pillars. How do they work together to create financial stability?
Okay, your capital, as
Right.
we've discussed,
Yeah.
is your income-generating core. Those investments that are working hard to generate passive income, bringing you closer to that crossover point.
That's the foundation of
Yeah.
your financial fortress, so to speak.
Exactly. Then you have your cushion, a reserve of cash, usually enough to cover 6 months of living expenses. This is your safety net for handling those unexpected situations,
Right.
like job loss or medical emergencies.
So it's like having a financial buffer to protect you from life's inevitable curveballs.
Exactly.
What about the cash? What is its role in this financial ecosystem?
Think of your cash as your fun money, the surplus funds that allow you to enjoy life beyond just covering basic needs.
Okay.
It's the money you can use to pursue hobbies, travel, give to charities, or invest in experiences that bring you joy and fulfillment.
I love that. It's like having a little financial freedom to sprinkle some extra joy into your life.
Exactly. And these 3 pillars work together to create a sense of financial security and stability, giving you the confidence to make choices that align with your values and your vision for your life.
But it's important to remember that financial independence isn't just about the numbers.
That's right.
It's about the freedom and peace of mind it creates.
Absolutely.
It's not about becoming a millionaire or accumulating vast sums of wealth. It's about having enough to live a fulfilling life on your own terms without being constantly stressed about money.
And that sense of freedom can be incredibly empowering. It allows you to pursue work that's meaningful, spend time with loved ones, and make a positive impact on the world without being tethered to a paycheck.
You know, one of the things that struck me about the book is its emphasis on the emotional side of money. It's not just about numbers and spreadsheets.
Right.
It's about understanding our deep-seated beliefs and patterns
Yeah.
around spending and earning.
You're right. The book encourages a lot of self-reflection and honesty. It asks you to really examine your motivations for spending. Do you shop when you're feeling stressed or lonely? Are you trying to keep up with the Joneses? Or are your spending habits rooted in some deeper insecurities or fears?
It's like financial therapy.
It is, in a way. And that's what makes this book so much more than just a personal finance manual. It's a guide to creating a more authentic and fulfilling life, starting with your relationship with money.
Yeah, so much of our financial behavior is driven by unconscious patterns and beliefs
Mm-hmm.
that we've inherited from our families, our culture, or even just the constant barrage of advertising we're exposed to.
Right.
The book really helps you unpack all of that and make more conscious choices.
Absolutely. It's about taking back control of your financial life and making sure your spending aligns with what truly matters to you, not what society tells you should be important.
One of the things I personally found helpful is the book's emphasis on frugality, but not in a restrictive or depriving way.
Right. It's more about appreciating and maximizing what you already have. The book encourages you to get creative and resourceful. For example, instead of constantly buying new clothes, you could host a clothing swap with friends.
Oh, that's a good idea. Or instead of eating out every night, explore new recipes and enjoy cooking at home. It's about finding joy in the simple things and resisting that constant pressure to consume, consume, consume.
It is. And, it's amazing how those small frugal choices can add up over time.
They really can. And not only do those frugal choices save you money, but they also often lead to a more sustainable and environmentally friendly lifestyle.
Yes.
Which is an added bonus.
It is.
Absolutely. It's about making choices that are good for your wallet, your well-being, and the planet. It's a win-win-win.
Speaking of win-win, I think it's important to address this concept of financial integrity, which the book emphasizes alongside the 9 steps.
Financial integrity, what does that entail? Is it just about paying your bills on time and avoiding debt?
It's more than that. It's about making sure your financial choices align with your values.
Right.
It's about using your resources in a way that benefits not just yourself, but also the community and the world around you.
So it's about thinking beyond just our own personal financial gain and considering the broader impact of our spending and investment choices.
Exactly. It's about supporting businesses that align with your values, making ethical investments, and using your money to make a positive difference in the world.
That's a really empowering message. It reminds us that we're not just consumers. We're citizens with a responsibility to use our resources wisely and ethically.
It's about recognizing that our financial decisions have a ripple effect that extends far beyond our own personal lives.
So financial integrity is about more than just dollars and cents. It's about living a life that's aligned with our values and using our financial resources to create a more just and sustainable world.
It's about being mindful of the impact our money has on others and on the planet.
And it's about recognizing that true wealth encompasses so much more than just our bank account balance.
Well said. Now, while achieving financial independence and aligning your work with your purpose might seem like a daunting task, your money or your life offers a roadmap to get there.
Right, and the book is full of inspiring stories of people who've used these principles to transform their lives.
It is.
And they come from all walks of life, from high-powered executives to stay-at-home parents.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that financial freedom is achievable for anyone who's willing to put in the work, change their mindset, and make conscious choices.
It's a journey that anyone can embark on.
Welcome back to the deep dive as we wrap up our exploration of your money or your life. I'm curious, what's been the most surprising takeaway for you so far?
It's fascinating how the book really seamlessly blends practical financial advice with these deeper questions about life purpose and values. It challenges readers to not only manage their money, but to truly examine how they're spending their most precious resource.
Time. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I think a lot of personal finance books really focus on accumulating wealth or achieving a certain financial status.
Right.
But your money or your life really flips the script. It's about aligning your finances with your values and designing a life that reflects what truly matters to you.
It's about recognizing that financial independence isn't an end goal in itself. It's a tool that gives you the freedom to choose how you want to spend your time and energy.
Right, and that choice can be incredibly liberating.
Right.
It could mean pursuing a passion project you've always dreamed of, spending more time with loved ones, volunteering for a cause you care about, or simply having the flexibility to travel and explore the world.
Exactly. Financial independence gives you that space to create a life that's not driven by financial necessity, but by choice and a sense of purpose.
One of the things that initially drew me to this book was the story of Joe Dominguez, one of the authors.
Yeah.
The fact that he retired from Wall Street at 31 and never worked for money again. It's such a powerful example of what's possible when you shift your perspective on money and work.
Yeah, his story really challenges that conventional narrative of working until you're 65 and then hoping you have enough saved to enjoy your retirement years. It shows that there's another way, a more intentional and fulfilling way to live.
And while his story might seem extraordinary, the principles he outlines in the book are incredibly practical and accessible to anyone regardless of their income level or background.
Right. The book emphasizes that achieving financial independence is a journey, not a destination. It's not about making drastic overnight changes, but rather about taking small, consistent steps each day to align your spending with your values and build a more secure financial future.
Yeah, it's about making conscious choices, building new habits, and staying committed to your vision, even when faced with challenges or setbacks.
And remember, you don't have to do it alone. There's a vibrant community of people who are on this path to financial independence, sharing resources, support, and encouragement.
I think that sense of community is really important, especially when you're trying to break free from those societal norms that tell us we need to keep up with the Joneses or work ourselves to the bone. To achieve success,
Absolutely. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who share your values can be incredibly motivating and inspiring. It creates a space where you can challenge those limiting beliefs, learn from each other's experiences, and celebrate your progress along the way.
even though the book focuses on achieving financial independence, it doesn't shy away from the emotional and psychological aspects of money.
It doesn't.
It really encourages readers to examine their beliefs and patterns around spending and earning.
Right. The book even includes exercises to help you uncover those deep-seated money scripts that might be holding you back.
Oh, interesting. For example, do you find yourself overspending when you're stressed or feeling insecure? Or do you avoid looking at your bank statements because it triggers anxiety?
Those are common patterns, and the book provides tools and strategies to help you address those emotional triggers and make more conscious choices.
It's about building a healthier and more balanced relationship with money, one that's rooted in awareness, intentionality, and self-compassion.
It's about recognizing that money is a tool that can be used to create a life of purpose and meaning, but it shouldn't control us or dictate our happiness.
And sometimes the most profound shifts come from simply becoming aware of our spending habits and asking ourselves, is this purchase truly aligned with my values? Does it bring me genuine joy? Or am I just trying to fill a void or numb myself from uncomfortable emotions?
Those are powerful questions that can lead to some surprising insights and ultimately help us make more intentional choices with our money and our lives.
I think one of the most valuable takeaways from your money or your life is that it's never too late to change your financial trajectory, no matter your age, income level, or past financial mistakes. You can start making choices today that will move you towards a more secure.
And we realize to shape our financial destinies. It's not about luck or circumstance. It's about making conscious choices that align with our values and our vision for our lives.
And it's about believing in ourselves, trusting the process, and celebrating each step we take towards creating a life we love.
This deep dive has been an incredible exploration of the key ideas in your money or your life. We've covered a lot of ground, but we've only scratched the surface of the insights this book has to offer.
I encourage all of our listeners to pick up a copy and embark on their own deep dive into this transformative book. It might just change the way you think about money, work, and the very way you choose to live your life.
Well said. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure. Until next time.